What's going on, everyone? Welcome back to the show. So I have a really good clip to show you guys today, and this is going to be about Social Security and automatic stabilizer. So Social Security, SSI, SSDI. We're going to talk about this because I think this could be a good way to stabilize Social Security. So we won't have to worry about the trust fund running out of money and the bankruptcies or the stuff that you're hearing politicians talk about today. And so we're going to take a look and listen to what he has to say. But first off, you guys can do me a favor. Please like the video, subscribe to the channel, hit that little bell notification, and then click all. By clicking all, that means you want to be notified anytime we put out a video. We do daily videos here, so you should be getting a notification every day. Okay, so first off, I want to show you the organization, okay? And this is where William Arnone, this is his organization. So it's the National Academy of Social Insurances. So it's not just Social Security, but it's different social programs, okay? Now, I would highly, and I'm not being sponsored by them or anything, but I would highly suggest that you guys go to this website and check it out. There's some really valuable information over here, and we're going to listen to him talk about what he thinks is the appropriate way to move forward when it comes to reforming Social Security, because this has to happen. At some point, they're going to have to address this. We've heard politicians say different things when it comes to addressing this. We've heard some politicians say we'll just have people work longer, so the full retirement age will move to 69 or 70 as opposed to where it is now at 66, 67. And so that's one way to address it. The other way is to tax the rich. And if you tax the rich, then you can add in there a $200 raise and things like that. So that's another way to address this. But this is an interesting way that he thinks that there should be a stabilizer in place to protect the trust fund. And so he's going to talk a little bit about that. So we'll go ahead and play this clip right now.
And so as far as the money that's paid out month by month, is that all covered by money that's coming in and nothing is to be touched as far as the trust funds or anything else?
No, last year, for the first time in a while, some of the interest on the trust fund securities, the trust fund holds government bonds. Think of savings bonds, very similar. They had to use some of the interest because the money coming in from our paychecks was not enough to finance the benefits. So, and that's the way it's going to be working. It's built in to do that. One of the things that we think needs to be looked at, we don't recommend, we analyze, assess, is what other countries do. They have an automatic stabilizing mechanism. If the trust funds get to a certain point, that would trigger an adjustment in what we pay in. Nice words to say. For most cases, it will cause us to pay more. We asked the American people twice, a nationwide survey, would you pay more to keep Social Security financially secure? And the response was overwhelming, yes. Today you pay 6.2%. American people said we would add another percent to that and we'd be fine with that. Think of any other tax. The American people would say we're willing to pay more. That's the beauty of this. Even though we call it a tax, it's a contribution and it's going toward your retirement. So it has a unique role in the American political spectrum that also gets lost in some of the reporting, unfortunately.
There's an effort, you probably well know, on Congress from House Democrats to pass legislation that would change some of the aspects there of something called project called Social Security 2100. Some of the things they're calling for would increase of benefits by 2%. It would make changes to the cost of living adjustment formula. There would be a new minimum benefit set at 25% above the poverty level tied to wage levels. It would improve benefits for those widows and widowers, and one of the other things amongst many is would end the 5-month waiting period for disability. What do you think about those proposals, and how hard are those proposals to make or to actually put into effect?
As an academy, we don't take a position, but I will commend Representative John Larson, who's the author. He's been the most forceful champion of acting on Social Security in a way to make the benefits more adequate. The question is, could that pass? In today's Congress, I think the answer is maybe you could get by the House, but it could never pass the Senate. Social Security requires bipartisan action. It can't be done through something called reconciliation. That's the challenge. And I think this automatic balancing mechanism is one that would appeal. Congress would have to pass one law, do this, and don't have to address it again unless they want to change the benefits. But this would provide an automatic financially secure program in perpetuity. So it's something that we just think we need to talk about it. Other countries do it. Canada does it. Sweden does it. Now, sometimes when you talk about other countries, people are like, yeah, but we're America. American exceptionalism. We don't look at what other countries do. Well, guess what? Social Security was founded based on what another country did, Germany.
I know you don't take positions, but why do you think the hesitancy's there?
To act on something like this?
Or to change, to make these changes?
There's a quote that has been misunderstood. Tip O'Neill. many years ago. He said cutting Social Security is the third rail of American politics. We left out the word cutting, and we said touching Social Security. That's not what he said. So we need to have the courage to address it, and I do think eventually that momentum will build, because we can't do what we did in 1983. We punted. We let a commission do it. This is a political program. It should go through the political process, and I think Congress will at some point realize we must act. We can't just wait.
Okay, so that was William Arnone talking about Social Security. And you heard that last part where he was talking about 1983. So 1983 is the last time they reformed Social Security. So it's been a long time since they've done anything with Social Security. So now is the time, and we know that. Now, if you guys didn't catch, he was talking about the stabilizer. Okay, in other countries, that's what they do. They have the stabilizer. And so basically what he's talking about is the 6.2%. When you're working, you pay 6.2% into the program. And so you contribute 6.2%, and then your employer contributes 6.2%. Now, if you had a stabilizer, an automatic stabilizer in place, if the trust fund was being depleted, then that's when that stabilizer would kick in and it would raise it up. Let's say it raises it up 1%. So now instead of you paying in 6.2%, you're now paying in 7.2%. But these are contributions. You're getting this back on the back end. So when you retire, you're able to collect this. So it's not just going away forever, but it is addressing the trust fund issue. And that's what needs to happen, because if they don't address the trust fund issue, then that's when we're going to be looking at a 20% reduction in Social Security in 2035. So that's what they're trying to avoid. And so if politicians address this and they voted on a bill like this with a stabilizer, it wouldn't automatically mean that you would have a tax increase, because we're looking at a situation now where when you have a strong workforce, they're paying into that payroll tax, and that means more money for Social Security, and you don't have to go to the trust fund because you have a lot of people working. But when you don't have a lot of people working, that's when they have to pull from the trust fund, because there's less money, less of that 6.2% coming from you and coming from your employer to go to Social Security. So if there's less, that's when you have to pull in the trust fund money. And so this, I think, is a really good idea. I think this is something that they should do right away. But obviously, we're going to be looking at a new Congress in January, and what that's going to mean is that it's going to be hard. It's going to be very hard. Now, we heard, and this video was, I think it was in August. Okay, so this is a little while ago. And he was talking about the House. The House could probably pass it, but going through the Senate would be more of a challenge. Well, in January, it's going to be more of a challenge just to get through the House, because you're going to have bipartisan support. He also stated that you can't do this through reconciliation. So you can't do this with just one party. You're going to have both Democrats and Republicans coming on board. Now, I think there's a good opportunity for this one. I really do. I would hope that someone drafts a bill, because I don't know of any bill right now that addresses this automatic stabilizer, but have that in place. Because if you can have that in place, that would help out a lot when it comes to the struggles that people are looking at today. I don't think we should be raising that age limit. I just don't think that's something that we should be doing. But with this stabilizer, as long as the economy is good, then it's not going to affect that 6.2% tax that you pay now, or I should say contribution. And that's what he said. It's a contribution, because that's what it is. So it won't affect that contribution. But if we do have some economic struggles, then that's when that will kick in. And so I think it's a great idea. We'll have to see if they can move forward with anything like that. I will continue to follow this and let you guys know. So make sure you subscribe and hit the little bell notification so you'll know if there are any updates when it comes to this, because all it takes is one politician to say, you know what, I think this is a good idea. Let's put this on paper and try to see if we can get support. And I'll let you know if that is the case. But stabilizers, I think, is the way to go when it comes to Social Security to address the trust fund. Now, when it comes to a raise for Social Security, that's a whole different thing. They're going to have to figure out how to fund that. But when it comes to addressing the trust fund, which I think is the most important thing for them to be looking at right now, I think this is a good option. I want to know what you guys think. So in the comment section, let me know down below. If you like this video, please give me a thumbs up. Please subscribe for more. And I'll talk to you in the next one. Bye.